Hello, everybody. There's no way that I'm not going to get through this without a car driving past, so I apologize. You can hear it. Can't help it. Professional. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I thought I would kind of jump back in to give you all an update on how it's all going. Stream-wise, they're slowly getting longer and more frequent. I think that will probably continue. I'm enjoying streaming a lot at the moment, and with everything else kind of falling apart, I've got more time. So I may as well do that, right? As I try and build up everything else. Talking about everything else, so there's two things. One which you should see fruit from fairly quickly, and one which will be ages away. So, quick bearing fruit first, I guess. So I've been talking a lot about doing videos like in Skyrim or another platform. I'm looking at different platforms, but Skyrim will be where the first ones come from. I'm now finding it rather limiting in what I can do with it, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. I think I should kind of rein back what it is I'm trying to achieve video-wise, get the scripts down, get the production down, and then I can move on to the more complicated stuff. So, with that in mind, the first video is hopefully, although bear in mind this might all change because it's a long weekend this weekend for me, and I may not get as much done as I want to get done. There's events going off in the field, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things that may stop me getting work done. But the plan is that the first one of these videos will be going up next week. I suppose saying a date would be more helpful in this kind of format. So the week starting the 26th of August, I'm aiming for Monday. It will more likely be Wednesday, Thursday, but the first one should be going up. It's fairly short, it's fairly crude in terms of production quality rather than humour, although it's my sense of humour, so you know what you should know what you're getting. It's not long at all. I think it's under a minute, maybe a minute, but it's not. It's just it's the first one, right? See if people enjoy it. I do have others. I'm kind of moving through the production stages. I'm not going to go into how I make them. If they become popular enough, I may do a kind of going through the process just to show people how I make them. But for now, let's just make them. Let's get them out there. So that will be soon, TM. And then hopefully by the time I do my next update, I will have had some more feedback and we can see where we're going to go with that. Whether I want to split it from the channel I have now, whether I just want to stop moving any kind of gameplay stuff over. I don't know. I think the next update will be the big kind of, do I want to push with YouTube? And if I do, where do I want to put it? And I think that'll be for the next time. But just there should be more videos coming, not just the kind of scripted stuff. I am recording some kind of more review type stuff. Now, there'll be old games because I can't afford to buy new ones that I've already played, but I'm kind of going through them with a kind of, if I was reviewing this, what would I want to say about it kind of hat. And I am also working on some other kind of different ideas for pre-recorded content that maybe I can do. I'm just going to throw a shit ton of stuff up at YouTube during September and basically ask for feedback. So that's kind of the fruit that's almost ready to pluck, if you like. In the longer term, myself, Unowen, and Zeppo, who are regulars to my stream, we have started to work on a visual novel based around tractors. Now, it is likely this is going to be a dating simulator. So if you've ever played Panzer Maidens, which I did play on my stream, this is kind of getting me into this whole thing, right? It's not going to be like that, but obviously they were tanks. We haven't decided anything yet, really. Apart from the fact, I think we've decided on the majority of the tractors that we will be trying to turn into the characters in the story. How they work, how you interact with them, what the game's going to look like, we have no idea. Now, my plan is, as we start to work along that project, we will do separate kind of updates based on how that is going. Now, whether that'll be just me talking to you after having, gotten feedback from the others, or whether they'd be willing to join me on these kind of updates, don't know. I haven't talked to them about it. I'm kind of just thinking about it now. But we are working on it. Now, I have also done, because we're using a program called RenPy, or RenPy, probably RenPy is how you meant to pronounce it. And although Owen will be doing the majority of the work in the actual system, so he's kind of programmer, Zeppo is clearly the artist, and I'm the person who's meant to be writing this and putting it all together, which is what I'm working on now. But I like to know how the system works. So what I've been doing is twofold, really. Is one, trying to work out how narrative branches work in a visual novel. Now, I have been playing through a few on stream. I've also been playing through a few of the freer ones in my own time. Now, the reason why I haven't done the free ones on stream is, one, there seems to be a very small market for free visual novels, and it's porn. Is there a nicer way to put it? Not really. And within that, there also seems to be another very keen subsect of the visual novel market, which we're not going to try and hit. Also, bear in mind, we're not going to try and hit the porn one as well, but we will probably make a lot of jokes about the kind of the visual novel world as we're going, because that's just the kind of person I am. So, but the other one just seems to be a lot of, these people clearly aren't related. Big flashy warnings as you start to play them, but the story seems to heavily suggest otherwise. We're not going to go for that, although, as I've been doing the research on tractors, what you do find out is that it would be very easy to do that kind of angle, because essentially a guy called Henry Ferguson dipped his wick in every single tractor design of the period we're kind of going for, which is kind of just pre-World War II to around about the 1960s, 1970s. That's the kind of area we're looking in. That's where I have interest in tractors, as sad as that may sound. It is those kind of older tractors that I prefer rather than the modern ones, so we will be looking that kind of age. The one tractor I've definitely decided on that will definitely be, well, two really, because one of them we don't really have a choice. The TE20, the Ferguson TE20 will definitely be in there. My idea at the moment is that they will be the kind of old girl / mentor. Now again, this is all subject to debate because we haven't really worked out the story beats, the characters, anything. It's all kind of, at the moment, it's all just kind of percolating in my mind as I go through it. But this is how I imagine the TE20 will be represented. Thinking like the matriarch or the grandmother. Something along those lines, depending on where the story is actually going to go, where it's going to be placed and set and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's all very early on. But yeah, we are working on that. I do really want to give kind of constant updates. We do want it to actually be a thing. We are doing it in our spare time. We're not asking for any money at the moment to do with this. As we move forward, we'll work all that kind of nonsense out. But for now, it's just something we're working on in our spare time. So it's going to be a very slow burning project. But hopefully something, I think it will be quite fun. Now, going back to my original point, because I kind of got distracted. Me? No way. Oh God, I forgot what my original point was. I got so distracted. RenPy. So I've been working through the system just so I know how it works, and also I've been working out narrative paths, how they work, how they branch out. So I have actually made a different visual novel, very short one. Not a lot happens. Where I've been writer, programmer, and artist. So it's gonna be good. Now my plan for that one is to actually give it to Rydog. And he is going to attempt to play it through on stream. Now, that's going to be a way off because I have to work out how to publish it somewhere where he can get access to it, all that kind of stuff. But that is the plan with that one. And like I say, it is very short, and it stars a starfish, and a lemon. Because I had pictures of those. That's the whole reason. So So hopefully that one will be coming soon and will give you an idea of the kind of story. Well, no, it's a completely kind of different kind of story, but the kind of humor, all that kind of stuff will give you an idea of what we're going to aim for with the Tractor visual novel, which we haven't given a name to. Like, we've got nowhere on it yet, really. We're just kind of early stages. So yeah, we're kind of working on that. That's a side project. That's a kind of slow burn project. I don't expect that to come to fruition anytime soon. What I'm also working on, which I'm hoping will come to fruition sooner, is Tomu. I dropped the ball on that one. I apologize to anybody who's reading that and enjoying it. It is coming back. Now, the main reason I dropped the ball on that one is because some of the videos that I'm doing are based in that universe. So some of the ideas I would have done in kind of memo/written form have now gone into scripted video form. And I'm trying to work out if I'm going to do this kind of double presentation idea. So every time I get an idea, I'm now kind of going through a kind of mental filter of what will be good as written form and what will be good in video form. And I've now got some ideas that I just don't think will work in video form, so they're going to go into the written form. It's not to say they're bad ideas, it's just they're different mediums and you can deliver them in different ways and do different jokes based on the medium you're doing. And some of them really, really work on the video form but do not work in the written form, and vice versa. So I'm working my way through that as well. That will be coming back in a big way in September. A lot of stuff on the policeofcake.com website. Go visit, go read. You'll love it. For people to enjoy. And it's not just that that's coming back. So I also started a kind of more mystery, fantasy, fairy tale-ish story called Elderfield Brock. That will also be coming back during September. Not in such a big way, but it will be coming back. And then the plan with Elderfield Brock is that will then be the big thing for the latter half of this year. So a kind of slow ramp up in September, and then October, November, December, if I can get there, which I think I can, at least updates twice a week on that story. We won't get to the end by December, but we should get to a relatively nice stopping point. So it's quite an involved story, but it, in my mind at least now, at the moment, it is broken up into 3 distinct parts, and the plan is we will get to the end of part 1. That doesn't resolve anything, really. It's just, that's the part I think I can get to finish by December. And the plan is we will then pick up part 2 early next year, assuming this is all that I'm doing. Like, everything is reliant and dependent on my circumstances. So everything is prone to change, but this is what I'm working on now. And then another one that will be coming back in a much smaller way. And it's not really coming back. It's an idea that I've had for absolutely years, and I've presented it a couple of times in a couple of different ways, and it's just kind of ended. I'm gonna try and present this idea now. It's based around paladins. I find paladins fascinating, but I'm trying to take it in more of a detective way, because I also find detectives fascinating. So I'm trying to come through. So in a lot of paladins are kind of presented in 2 very distinct ways, but they're similar in their own. But most of the time, people think of paladins as either holy warriors. Well, they're always holy warriors, but that's pretty much it. You know, they're kind of warriors with the power of God and light and all that kind of stuff. The other one is that paladins become kind of protectors / wardens of magic users. And I'm trying to kind of mix those 2 ideas together with a little bit of they're also kind of the lore keepers to do with anything that is fantastical. Now, again, if you've read any of my older stuff before I was Police of Cake, I can't tell you the name because I'm legally not allowed. But if you've read any of my older stuff before I became Piece of Cake, then you will know that I've presented this idea before. I floated it, I've started it. It gained some traction, but then I ran out of steam with it because I have the idea in my head. I don't know how to present it yet. So on policeofcake.com, go visit. You will start seeing a kind of more shorts, more one-offs, more explorations of ideas before I really decide on what it is I want to do with those ideas. But the plan is, and this is always what I've wanted to do with the kind of website side, is have at least one continuing serial going on. I would like to hit 3 times a week, but that seems unlikely at the moment. 2 times a week, probably Tuesday, Thursday, I think is doable. And the plan is, so with Elderfield Brock will be the first one we try and do. I will float some new ideas and then we will carry on. We put a new one on, and the plan is to do these 3-month blocks. So we'll do 3 months of one, 3 months of another, 3 months of another one, and then maybe a little bit of a break. Maybe a little bit of a break between, a week or 2 between each, just to give me time to catch up, take time off, not have to write constantly. But the idea is I want to be writing constantly, so blah, 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 blah. You don't give a shit about that side of things. I am hoping to do one of them as a stream project. I've floated the idea of doing writing on streams many, many times. I've tried it a couple of times. I now think I'm more comfortable writing and streaming than I think I can do both. And I'm very much hoping to kind of build that up. Now, in November, I will be doing NaNoWriMo again. If you don't know what that is National Novel Writing Month. It is for charity. And it's basically, it's what it sounds like. You try and write a novel in a month. So you're trying to hit 50,000 words in the month of November. I've done it for a number of years now. I have succeeded, I think, for the past 5 in a row. This year, assuming my circumstances don't change, I will be doing it all live on Twitch. That's the plan. Anyway, at the moment. And what I want to do is be comfortable doing that by the time we hit November, so I can kind of hit the ground running in November. Hopefully get some people, other writers to come in, join in, like become a place where you can kind of come, sit down, there'll be some relaxing music, just me typing away, floating ideas. Happy to talk through what ideas other people are trying to do, and hopefully we'll have a chat going. It's ambitious, maybe. A lot of other people are trying to do it. I see there are a few writers now on Twitch doing this, which also gives me confidence, seeing how they do it and how I found it enjoying to watch. Then hopefully people will find it enjoying watching me do this kind of stuff. There will be music in the background. I think I might put music requests on in the background just so people can choose the music to do, unless that really becomes off-putting as we're doing it. But we'll try a number of different things, a number of different approaches. But again, in September, expect to see 1 or 2, hopefully more, writing streams. In terms of timing, they will probably be later in the day. So my time probably around about 10-11 p.m. Which is when I'm finding I'm writing the most at the moment. So, let's not try to break a system that's working. Let's just try to mix something in, right? There's no point putting eggs and flour in separate bowls if you need to mix them together. So let's just do that. So hopefully we'll see that coming through. I've just realized this is meant to be a 10-minute update. I'm almost at 20 already. So let's kind of wrap this up because I've said nothing of importance. Twitch side is going well. Again, I do want it to grow, but I don't know how to do it. I don't want to kind of grow it falsely. I've seen a lot of people recently really playing the false angle. I'm not going to say what that is, but I just hate it. It's not what I want to do. I've had a lot of advice come through, which is basically just change. Either become more hype, more active, scream a lot more, or go this other kind of false pyramid scheme route. I don't want to do either. I just want to stream as me. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't want to get there by trying to be somebody else. I won't enjoy it. You guys won't enjoy it. It won't attract the audience I'm really after, which is, not a wholly mature audience. I'm not a wholly mature man. But a little bit older, really. I'm not going after the kid market, let's say that for sure. Unless they're the mature kind of kid. Some of them are. But, you know, I will be trying different... I won't really be trying different things. I'm just going to keep on going and see if I can attract more people in. Any kind of support on that side is appreciated, be it bits, subs, donations, Patreon, all that kind of stuff. But also just sharing my tweets, telling your friends, all that kind of good stuff just helps. Right? Word of mouth is the biggest thing that will grow my channel at the moment. So the more people spread it, the better for me, and I appreciate anyone who does any of that. I'm not really planning on adding any kind of different content or set content yet, although ideas are kind of flowing, and I might do soon, but that'll probably be on the next one. I've gone over 20 minutes. Is there anything else I want to talk about? On the Patreon side, so all of these ideas that I'm doing, like the kind of stuff that I don't do live on Twitch, which I'm not going to hide behind a Patreon or a sub wall. If it's on Twitch, you can come and enjoy it for free. If you wanted to support me, I love you for it. Watching is supporting. If you want to go above and beyond that, fucking fantastic. If not, that is also absolutely fine. But with all the writing stuff, the video production stuff, so what I found is, because I'm also doing the voiceovers for the video stuff as well, is that there are bloopers. And I'm going to put the bloopers up on Patreon, and I just need to work out how to do that. And then with the writing stuff, eventually I am hoping to get kind of more input from people who are Patreons into how the story goes. At least one of them. Not Elderfield, but one of the others I'm working on. Is very much designed to be a collaborative effort. That will also be one I am writing on Twitch, so it's kind of like some of the input I will take from Twitch, some of the input I will take from Patreon. I know there's a huge crossover there, but it'll come in different forms. And then for those who are interested in the writing stuff, I intend to do kind of more background stuff, kind of show the kind of more drafty versions, maybe show my character sketches. Those would be Patreon only, I would imagine. But at the same time, those sketches and those things may be heavily redacted, so I don't give away the story. We'll see. But there will be more on the Patreon side coming up. And I think that's all I've really got to say. So I do have merch. It's not very good. What a salesman I am. But it is there if you want it. I'll put a link in the description below. I do have a Patreon. I'll put a link in the description below. I've got the Twitch channel. Link in the description below. And yeah, thank you for all the support. You know, and if you want to share this video around, that would be great. And all that kind of jazz. I'm sick of talking. You're sick of listening to me. Have a good day, everybody. And I'll see you on Twitch every weekday. Yeah, 2 p.m. British time. If you want to come and join. No, 1 p.m. British time. We start earlier now. I know what I do. I'm professional. Every weekday. So come and join me if you want. If not, check me out on Patreon. Check me out on pleasecake.com. All the other places. Links below. Thank you. Bye. Yes. Goodbye. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.